Well, uh, this is why I film these when my wife is in bed. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Thanks so much for taking the time to tune in. You are watching Crooked Hooks Fishing, and we have got a banger of an unboxing for you here today. We have got 5 6-sack subscription sacks to open today. I know I've been lagging behind on the 6-sack subscriptions, but as I mentioned in my previous video, we have had a ton of technical issues that have happened across the board with all of the various different cameras and memory cards. And I don't even want to go all through it because there's just so much that went wrong. But I've gotten new cameras, I've gotten new mics, I've gotten pretty much new everything now. So hopefully we can start getting this stuff. But this video is going to be all about catching up, and we have got a lot to catch up on. So there's going to be quite a bit of tackle being shown here today. I did want to get started with a bit of channel news. We've got some very exciting stuff that's happened over the past little while. We finally tipped over 200 subscribers, which is absolutely awesome, and I can't thank each and every one of you enough for taking the time to hit that subscribe button and really showing some dedication to the channel. I really appreciate it. For those of you who aren't subscribed, by all means, go ahead, hit the subscribe button, keep up to date with all the new stuff that's going to be happening with the channel. Also, even if you don't want to subscribe, throw a like on the video. It helps out greatly with the algorithm and can get the video out to more people that might want to subscribe. I have the utmost excitement and privilege to announce that I have been named a brand ambassador for Tackle Depot. So Tackle Depot is now running into Crooked Hooks Fishing. So we're going to have a lot of exciting news and a lot of different things happening with the channel, with Tackle Depot, which is going to be really awesome. One thing too is if you want to place an order with Tackle Depot, you can actually use the code SHARE75TD, and that will actually get you a blanket discount on your entire order. If you do make an order through Tackle Depot, I would ask that you take a screenshot of your invoice and DM it to me on the Crooked Hooks page, and that way I can give you some credit where credit is due. That would be greatly appreciated. Other than that, guys, we've got a lot to go through. We have a whole lot. And my camera's a little off here. Let me see here. There we go. That's better. Now we're in the middle. So yeah, we're going to get right into this. But what I'm going to do, because we have so much tackle to go through, a lot of the time is taken up with terminal tackle. So I'm going to go through each of these bags and I'm going to pull out the terminal tackle. Stuff that we've all seen, stuff that we know is there. It's just going to expedite things. So I'm going to try to not look at the baits. But if I catch a glimpse, I catch a glimpse. But I am going to just pull out the terminal tackle right now. Okay, so we got all the terminal tackle out. We got some Divine jig heads. We got, some juggle hooks, and we've got some 3/0 and 5/0 jugular worm hooks. We did get the Masterclass series dome jig heads, which are actually really cool. That's a 5-pack. These are a little bit of a smaller profile jig head, 1/8 of an ounce. This is more for your finesse fishing and stuff like that. And then we did get some drop shot weights. So I have a feeling we'll be getting drop shot baits in here somewhere. So what we're going to do, we'll start with April. I'm going to move these to the side. We're going to start with April and we're going to get right into it. And there's a big box in here and I'm really excited. Oh, look at that. There's more terminal tackle, drop shot hooks. Okay. So we're going to start with an exclusive color right off the bat in the Juggle Minnow. The Juggle Minnow is primarily made for the hover shot, but it makes for a really good trailer on spinnerbaits and chatterbaits too as well. So this is an exclusive color. It doesn't really have a name, but there you go. It's kind of like a motor oil with a silvery bottom. That's actually a really cool color. I actually really like that. So, you know, pair that up with, do that up on a hover shot and, or on your chatterbait or your spinner baits. That's a really good versatile bait. I love getting more of the juggles. And then we have our first bait drop. We've got a brand new bait that's now, I believe this is now on the website just recently. And this is the Sketch 4.3 minnow bait. Now you see it's got a very thin tail, very thin profile. This is in the Ghost Minnow color. Oh, will you focus? So that has got some really nice details molded in, scales molded in, and this has got a horizontal tail. So when you're drop shotting this or even have this on a small jig head like those Dome Masterclass jig heads, this is just going to flip and flop all around. I can see this working really well on a drop shot though for that nice realistic minnow profile. That's going to be an absolutely killer bait. I believe this is live on the website now, but it does count as a bait drop because in April it was not on the website. So 6 Sack subscribers actually got this way ahead of time, which is pretty cool. Oh, and speaking of spinnerbait trailers, we got ourselves one of the Divine spinnerbaits, and this is probably my favorite color. This is the Bone Truce Pearl. So that is a bone-colored spinnerbait, 2 willow leaf blades, 1 gold, 1 silver, screw lock bait keeper, hand-tied skirt. That is gorgeous. And around this time of year, this color is going to be absolutely amazing because it's a good shad imitator. So this will be a good bait fish imitator. So the next time I go out, I think I'm going to take this and I'm going to see what kind of damage I can do with that. The only thing I don't like about the Divine spinnerbaits is they don't have the twisted eyelet. So the eyelet is open. So generally I throw something like an elastic or use a split ring, and so, just so that the line doesn't slip. And the last thing in the bag for the April sack, and it's a big box. And you know what I like about the big boxes? There's usually big baits. And there is the 5-inch Trace swim bait. Oh, I don't have a knife. I don't have a knife, but I do have drop shot hooks. Let me just pull out one of these little hooky-doos and get this baby open because, oh my goodness, this is a beautiful color of Trace swim bait. And if you guys know anything about me, I love throwing the bigger baits, especially the jointed swim baits. And this is just a killer color for our waters up here. This is the 4K bluegill, I would assume. Is it the 4K? No, it's the baby sunfish. So this is the Trace multi-jointed swim bait, 4K sunfish. That is absolutely gorgeous, and I'm going to be throwing the heck out of that thing because that is 100% an accurate bait imitator for our waters up here in Canada, because we know these bass and these pike like blasting off on the bluegill and the sunfish, especially late into the fall when they're starting to feed. So this is going to be a key bait that I'm going to absolutely love throwing. So we have April down. Rating out of 10. I'm going to give it a strong 8. I'm going to give it a strong 8. Exclusive bait, exclusive color, a trace. Nah, let's go up to a 9. And the Divine Spinner bait plus whatever terminal tackle came in that bag. You can't go wrong with that. I mean, that's a bait drop right off the bat. So let's go into our next bag. This is the May sack. And we're starting off with the Movement 80X. The Movement 80X is one of my favorite baits to throw. This is a 1 to 3 foot diver. This is the chartreuse black back. So you've got that black back on the back. Now this is a square bill. This is a larger profile square bill. So, but this only runs 1 to 3 feet. So this is great for throwing at the shorelines, dragging it across the rocks and stuff like that. Larger profile means it's going to get a larger bite. This has a good rattle in it. It's going to make a lot of ruckus in that shorter water column. Really just bang it around where those fish are pushing up to feed. You're going to get hit on that thing. The Provoke 106, my favorite jerkbait, and this is the 3 to 6 foot diver, and this is the live shad color. That is beautiful. We've got that blue-black on the back with the green going down into the silver, gold eye, molded in gill plates and scales, that nice chartreuse stripe on the back, and then a nice white bone-colored bottom. This is a 3 to 6 foot diver, so this is really going to get you down into that water column where they're coming up to blast on those bait balls and stuff like that. So when you see those bait balls and stuff on your graph, throw this past the bait ball and draw it through and see if you can't get some of those fish to come up and blast through the bait ball and smack that bait. In the fall time, a jerkbait is one of the best ways to fish, and you can get some very, very aggressive strikes on a jerkbait. We've seen these before, and still one of my favorite baits. We've got the Axle swinging swim jig. So this is the weedless swim jig. It's got the swinging hook with the screw lock keeper. I believe this is the Grass Smash. No, it's the Green Pumpkin Gill. Green Pumpkin Gill. So this is going to be a good bluegill or sunfish imitator for up here. And this time of year, swim jigs are lethal, absolutely lethal. And the fact that these are weedless means you can really get into the thick stuff and just yank it through. And wherever those fish are hiding, hopefully you'll be able to pull one out. We have got Green Pumpkin Bongos. This is a really nice craw trailer. I'll pop it open here. But it's a really nice craw type trailer to put on your jigs. But don't shy away from throwing these on your chatterbaits or swim jigs as well. Really aggressive paddle style. So it's got these little paddles built into the fins. So it really displaces a lot of water. And the Green Pumpkin, I mean, you can't really go wrong. It's the most fish catchingest color on the planet. So it's got those two appendages. You can cut the body down if you want to put it onto a jig or anything like that. I mean, it's a great profile bait, and will really really elevate your choices as far as to what trailers you're going to run on your chatterbaits, your swim baits, or your jigs if you want to mix it up a little bit and throw something a little bit different, because sometimes all it takes is to show them something that they haven't seen before. And we have two more in the pack here. We have got Shindigs. And the grasshopper color, the Shindig is I call it, it's a smallie bait. You're going to put this on a Ned, or you're going to put this on a micro chatter. It's just a very small little flappy craw imitator. There you go. And this has got the silver belly with the green pumpkin back. Two little flappy appendages here that's really going to draw the fish's attention on a Ned rig or anything like that. But don't be afraid. You can drop shot these two as well. Or the Mini Max chatterbaits, the smaller ones. It makes a really good trailer on there. And last out of the bag is the Busa Shaky Worm 6.5. We're a little out of the big worm season, but the Busa Shaky Worm 6.5, this is in the Mamba Magic. So this is like almost like a charcoal color of worm, and it's got the ribbed body. And then if you look down at the tail, it reminds me of the movie Aliens. If you look down at the tail, it's got these little nodules that are bigger than the rest of the ribs, so that the tail gives a lot of extra action. This is the 6.5. There's also a 5-inch version. There's also a Busa Magnum, which is, I think, 7.5 or 8. It's big. It is a big thing. This was a great all-purpose sack. This gave you a little bit of something for every condition. But again, we're gearing towards fall, so you've got the Busas, or not the Busas, but the bongos and the shindigs for those smallies, and the Provoke 106. I mean, you can't really go wrong. You've got the Axel swim jig. I mean, this was a great sack. At a 10, I'd give it a 7. Solid 7. It's a good universal sack. There's nothing in this selection that you wouldn't throw. So that's great. That's a great all-around sack. That's great value for the money. So now we're moving on to May, April, June. Oh, June's starting out hot. June is starting out hot. Guys, my new favorite frog was, ever since they released, the Hush Frog. Now, I showed the Hush Frog before, but look at the profile of the body on that thing. Really, really beautiful frog. The nice thing about it is they have the plug in the bottom so the water can't get in where the hooks enter the body, and the drain is on the top of the body. So you're spending more time casting this than you are squeezing it out, which is key. I want to be able to keep putting that frog into where the fish are instead of having to sit there and squeeze my bait out. So to start off with a Hush Frog, I am happy with that. Next, we have the Harness Head. Ooh, I did not have any of these, which is very, very cool. So the Harness Head is a ready-make line through, pretty much. So that's it there. So what you do is you screw the head into your swim bait of choice, and you'll notice you have the tie-on ring just above the eye. Let's turn it this way. So you have the tie-on ring just above the eye, and then you have another eyelet on the bottom. So you can decide whether you want to have the hook on the top of the swim bait or whether you want to have the hook on the bottom of the swim bait. Both have their advantages, both have their disadvantages, but running a line through right now, I'm telling you, I ran a line through this season, and man, those fish just crack off on it because that swim bait has a lot more play than having the shank of a hook all the way through it. Just having that screw head in and then having the treble in the back, the bait just swivels. So having a ready-made pack where you can just screw it in, throw the hook on and go instead of having to run the line through the actual head and then tying on, that's actually really cool. The 1/4 ounce Divine Swim Jig. Bluegill Fire. Nothing really to write home about. We've all seen the Divine Swim Jigs. That's a beautiful color scheme. And again, it's just geared towards our bait fish right here in Canadian waters. So that's going to do really, really good because the swim jig bite is on. And speaking of line throughs, here are the treble heads. These are the ones that you would screw into the bait. Then you would have to run your line through the treble, through the head, out the back, and then a uh, you tie on a treble hook. And if you actually look on the back, it gives you the instructions on how to do it right there. And this has been one of my best catching baits, is using these treble heads. It's actually, and this is raw, so these are just the lead ones, but they do have painted ones too as well, which is awesome. The Pecos. So this is a crappie bait. This is the Pecos underspin. These are micro underspins. But don't let this fool you. Smallies will absolutely smash these. These are just a little micro, 1/8 ounce. So you're going to want to let it sink down to where you want to start drawing it back. But it's just got that little teardrop blade on the bottom, a 1/0 hook, and the 1/8 ounce molded jig head, and then you've got 4 replacement bodies on there too as well. I have a couple different colors of this actually down. My favorite is actually called Electric Chicken, which is an orange chartreuse and clear. And yeah, smallies love it. But crappie just absolutely wrecked these two as well. And lastly, in the April, May, June is the Panorama 5.0. Now, a lot of people are on the fence with the Panorama, but I can say with certainty that these are a fish catching machine, especially when the fish are eating big. I like to Texas rig these on their side, because if you notice, well, I'll pull one out here. If you notice, oh, why is it getting my eyes? They're very thin, very thin. It is my only gripe about these is after a couple fish, they're pretty much torn to heck. But the couple fish that you do catch with these, when you Texas rig it on its side so that it's just floating up and down, and you don't use a giant hook, you use one that comes up to the middle of the body, so this tail has a lot of play. But I'm telling you, when fish commit to this, they commit to this, and it's usually the bigger fish that do. They're a really, really cool bait, and if you haven't tried it, I would highly suggest you pull it out, something like that. It's very, very cool. Next, we have July. We're going, guys. Ooh, the Conda Finesse Swim Jig. I do not have one of these. And this color is the June Bug Gill. That's super cool. So this has a smaller 3/0 hook, screw lock keeper. And you'll notice it's got a little bit of a wider head. So this will allow you to get into places that you normally couldn't with an exposed hook swim jig. This is really, really cool swim jig. I did not have any of these, so I'm very, very happy to get one of those. The Provoke 97X. So this is the smaller size of the Provoke. So this is still the 3 to 6 foot diver. And this is bluegill spawn. So this is, again, another color that's really geared towards the bait fish up here. Like, we're making out really good with the bait fish imitators. I mean, even the Panorama, the last Panorama was amazing. So this is the smaller 97 size, which I've really started taking a liking to, especially if the bite is a little more finicky than I would hope. The 97 seems to be able to draw a bite where the 106 couldn't. So having one of those in the bluegill spawn is very, very nice. So these are juggle lock heads. So what you're going to do with these is you're going to screw these into the juggle minnows. So you screw these into the head of the juggle minnows, and then you use a 90-degree bend hook and set up a hover shot. And these act as your weight just to give your bait a little more lifelike approach. It's basically a weight, but it's shaped like a minnow head. So, having that option there is very, very nice. Oh my goodness, this sack is packed. A 1/2 ounce finesse axle finesse swim jig. We've all seen those. I've shown you these a few times. The swinging hook and the screw lock bait keeper, and this is the finesse style with you'll notice the skirts trimmed by the head. But a 1/2 ounce, that's a big for a finesse. And then we've got the ever faithful restock of Divine Shaky Worms in green pumpkin in a 7-inch. Can't go wrong with a good 7-inch worm, especially early in the season. Oh, here we go, guys. Bait drop. Bait drop right now. This is the new Shindo Shad. And this is in the green gizzard color. Now, if any of you have been watching the Bassmaster Elite series, the last win that Trey McKinney had, he actually got a majority of his fish on this. And you put a 3 to 4/0 ball head jig in this. And you just play it in the water column where you see those bait fish hiding out. You'll notice it has that little notch in the tail here. See that? That gives this tail a really erratic action, especially when you're bouncing and rolling this thing around. It is a really, really cool bait. And this is the green gizzard color. That's absolutely awesome. Love bait drops. I love getting stuff before it's released. This is not released yet. So this is one of the perks of being a 6 Cents subscription sack subscriber, is that I get to use and see a lot of these baits before the general public. So that is very cool. So if you're interested, make sure you go check out the website and sign up for your own. And then, of course, the Green Pumpkin Burst Stroker Craw 3.3. So this is a 3.5-inch craw style creature bait. Use it as a trailer, throw it on your jigs, throw it on your chatterbaits. I like throwing it just on a straight jig so that the claws point up. That's basically it. It's pretty much the same as any other craw style bait. But the color on this, the Green Pumpkin Burst, is just amazing. So that's it for August, or that's it for July. We are now into August. All right, let's muscle through this, guys. We've got another bait drop. Brand new bait drop. This is called the Bounce Worm. So this is looking like a Ned worm, like a Ned style worm, but it's like a miniature Divine Shaky Worm. Take a look at that. This is the Milliken Smoke. So this is like a charcoal color. But look at this, look at the big nodule on the tail. That's just going to flap around when this is on a Ned head. That's going to have some serious drawing power. That's really cool. And this has got like purple flake, black flake, little bit of silver maybe. And then it's got that charcoal body. This is a really cool little bait. And again, this is a 12-pack. And again, exclusive bait drop, not released yet. Right off the bat. Love it. Next we have some Crube. This is the Crube Tube. So this is 6 Cents answer to a tube. It is a tube that is shaped like a crawfish. So you can put your weighted hook inside. You can Texas rig this. The color of this is Magic Craw, which is really nice. It's like a light green pumpkin, but then it's got red, black, little bit of purple flake in it. That is a really cool color. And it looks like it's got the pearl powder, the blue pearl powder in there too as well. That's very, very cool. Again, Another smallie bait. And here we have a 7/16 ounce ball head finesse jig. I actually don't have too many of these. And that is a really cool color. That is the green pumpkin orange. That is really, really nice. I'm really enjoying that color. That is super, super cool. Then we got another bag of Juggle Minnows. And this is the Ghost Pro Shad. This is actually one of my favorite colors in the Juggle Minnow. Look at the blue. Look at the blue and silver in this thing. It is... I got to cover up my face. It is ridiculous. Look at the color of that. And again, you can throw that on a hover shot, use this as a trailer. God, that is such a cool color. I know exactly what I'm going to put that on. I've got a blue, and I've also got a lavender chatterbait. I think that would look really, really good on. And then we have the Axis. This is the metal square bill. So that square bill there actually can shift left or right, which gives this bait a really, really erratic action. This is the black magic color. And so this is great for stained or dirty water. It's going to create a really, really not only visual presentation, but a really loud audible presentation. And the erratic movement's really going to get the vibrations going and draw those fish in. That is super, super cool. I really, really like that. And then we've got two little blisters. Oh, and some more drop shot hooks. We got two little blisters. And these are the Masterclass series of baits. This is the Strobe and the Strobe Shaker. So these are two really unique baits. I'm going to pull them out here. Whoop, God, if I can hold on to it. So I'm going to pull them out here. There's a Strobe Shaker. Oh, God. Okay, there we go. So this is the Strobe. This is going to be your drop shot. This is basically going to be a drop shot bait. There's really no ifs, ands, or buts about it. I mean, look how lifelike that thing is. Horizontal presentation on the tail, but it's got that little nodule on the end of the tail too as well to help displace water. And the paint job on this thing is nuts. Like, it's absolutely nuts. Look at that. Translucent body. Good Lord, that thing is going to get just absolutely munched. And then this is the Strobe Shaker. So you're looking at the same kind of profiles here. But you'll notice it has that big flappy thing on the front, right on the nose. So it's got this big paddle. Now what you're going to do with this is you're going to run a small ball head jig in here. And you're either going to fish it vertically, or you're going to cast it out and you're going to slow roll it back to your casting point. And what this does is it causes the bait to roll. And that rolling action is really, when it comes to the finessing of these little swim jigs, that rolling action is really what gives this the drawing power that a lot of these baits need. And again, look at that paint job. Just absolutely awesome. So the Masterclass Strobe Shaker and the Strobe Minnow are available now. And if you're a smallie fisherman or a finesse style fisherman, these baits are absolutely fire. Absolutely fire. And are definitely worth a try. We did it. We made it. We made it all the way through, guys. So, I mean, I would recap all of this stuff, but I think the standouts probably for this, number one is probably going to be that Shindo Minnow. I really do like these harness heads. These. Those are really cool. You know, it's the Sketch Minnow, very cool. Obviously, the big swim bait, can't really go wrong with. But this was a really diverse grouping of six sacks, and it just goes to show the variety that you can get now. Because as the product lines evolve, you're going to see a lot more variety of baits in the six sack now because they have a lot more at their disposal. There was a complaint a couple years ago when I first started that, you always saw the same baits. You always saw the same crankbaits. You always saw the same this, same that. Well, I don't think you're ever going to run into that problem ever again because the product line for Sixth Sense has just exploded over the past couple years. And they're routinely cranking out, 8 to 12 different new baits a year now. And a lot of this stuff is proprietary just to them. You're not going to find it anywhere else. Just to let you know, too, as well, guys, you can find Sixth Sense goods on tackledepot.com or tackledepot.ca. And again, you can use a share code SHARE75TD, and that will get you a discount on any products that you buy, including Sixth Sense. Now, if you enjoyed the unboxing content, guys, and you want to see more, please give a like on the video. And if you haven't already, consider subscribing to the channel. It would help out greatly, and I would love to bring you along for the ride. But that's all I've got for you right now. So until the next time, keep your head above the water.